Excuse me. Hello folks, welcome back to Steve's Rocketry Workshop, and this is part 4 of the mini Thor build. Let me adjust the camera here. There we go. It's part 4 of the mini Thor build. I just got back from my mother-in-law's. I had to go go there for dinner. So the fins on the fin can are dry. I tried to upload the first 3 parts while I was at my mother-in-law's, but my iPhone died in the middle of the upload, and I didn't have my charger, and so I have to redo the upload. So I'm just going to do it at the end of all of my recording. So, in this episode, we're going to be doing the final stages of construction of this rocket. We're going to be installing the engine mount. We are going to be putting the 2 halves of the rocket together and installing the recovery system. So, without further ado, let's get our glue and a scrap piece of balsa, which fortunately I have a designated drawer specifically for scrap balsa. And I want this right here. This one's kind of broken off, so that's good. Oh, no, it's not. It's just flimsy. There go my scissors. Sorry about that. So, I'm just going to take a piece of scrap balsa. I have scrap balsa left over from all my builds. This one just so happens to be the first one I grabbed for my, and this was from when I built my Estes shuttle for the 3rd time. First 2 blew up. I've got I don't know if I showed it. I think I showed it in one of my videos, but I got part of the last one, the glider to the last one, hanging up above my window, my rocket room. So, and in a few months, my rocket room may look totally different because the apartments I live in are undergoing remodeling. They're apartments for disabled and elderly, and I'm on disability because I have a mild form of autism, and I have ADHD and bipolar and all this crud. I know I shouldn't put that out on public, but I don't care. My life's a mess anyways. Anyways, you want to put glue in the aft end of your tube and kind of smear it around with the this stick of scrap balsa, and then you want to take your engine mount, and you don't necessarily have to do this, but I do. But you want to line your it's totally optional, but you want to line your launch lug up, or the engine hook up with the launch lug. You don't have to, you can just have the engine hook facing wherever, but I like to keep it lined up with the launch lug. It's just OCD. That's another thing I suffer with. So, but anyways, back on the subject of the apartments. They're turning our unit into a handicap unit, and they're going to have us moved so that a person who is wheelchair bound can have this unit. So, my rocket room may look different. It may not. They may move us into a unit, because all these units look exactly alike. Some are mirrored, like my next door neighbor's apartment looks exactly like mine. The only difference is her living room and dining room are on the opposite sides than what mine are. They're mirrored. You know, living room, dining room, kitchen, and bedroom, it's all mirrored. But so, my rocket room may look different. It may not. They may put us in a 2-bedroom. So, anyways, I'm rambling. Alright, so you got your engine mount in. Next thing you want to do is take a larger tube and put some glue in there. A decent, copious amount of glue in there. And if you want to, which is what I'm going to do, just take your stick and just kind of spread it around in there. Kind of like spreading butter. But don't eat it. Unless you want your insides stuck together. You got to joke around every now and then. And then you want to join two halves of the tube. Now I like to line the spirals up. Just again, OCD. And while that's drying, assemble the recovery system. What you want to do is you see you got the little stuff in there in the eyelet. Do not cut your eyelet off. You're gonna need it. Just take your X-Acto knife and clean that stuff out of the eyelet. It should be really weak. See, all I had to do was stick my knife in there and it came right out. That's what it's supposed to look like. And that's just a note for all you new Rocketeers. I mean, all you older seasoned Rocketeers like me. I mean, I'm not old. I'm 23 years old, but I'm well seasoned. 21 years experience rocketry. Yes, that means I've been flying rockets since I was 2 years old. So, yeah, that's just for you newbies. Do not cut the eyelet off. Just clean the stuff out from inside of it. Next, you want to take your instructions from your Vagabond, which you really don't need anything out of except the tube marking guide and the shock cord, because we are not building a Vagabond in this video. Cut out the shock cord mount. You don't have to do this, but I like to before I glue, and that's make creases on the dotted lines. It makes it a lot easier when you're gluing your shock cord mount together. Anyways, they're marked 1, 2, and 3. In section 2, which is the middle section, put some glue. Lay your shock cord out in section 2 in the glue, where the long end is going towards section 3. Make sure it's not in section 1, because you got to fold section 1 over section 2. Clamp it tight for a couple of seconds. And then put another bead of glue over section 1 and 2, and then fold section 1 and 2 over into section 3. Squeeze tight for a couple of seconds. And then most people recommend you let it dry, but since we're not flying this thing right away, I'm going to go ahead while it's wet and glue it into the tube. I like to line my shock cord mount up with the launch slug. Again, symmetry, OCD, and you want to put it about 2 inches down into your body tube, so that you have enough room for the shoulder and the nose cone. And just make sure it's flat in there. Next, take your open end of your shock cord, thread it through the nose cone. Double knot with a shock cord, just like that. Mind you, this is all less than a day's worth of work, and I'm already almost complete with this rocket. A lot of people wonder how I do it how I'm able to build rockets so fast. Even seasoned Rocketeers ask me, and it's just because I got a lot of free time. I don't work. Well, I do work. I work for Aerotech Rocketry. I'm an independent sales representative, but I work right here from this building station. I got my computer right here, and I work from my computer. I work from home. I only have to leave my house to do work once or twice a month, and that's to go pay my hobby retailers visits. So, anyways, you want to open your parachute up. Make sure your shroud lines are all straight, not twisted. A lot of people call them parachute strings, especially new Rocketeers that don't know the proper nomenclature. But same difference, you know. The proper term is shroud lines, but you know, call them whatever you want. So, you want to make a loop with your shroud lines, and then pass the parachute through the loop. Of course, you gotta wrap your loop around the shot cord. Like, just place your loop underneath the shot cord and wrap it around so that when you pull your parachute through, it ties onto your shot cord, just like that. A lot of people do it from the shoulder of the nose cone, which is fine, but it puts more stress on your parachute, on your shroud lines, and could potentially rip your parachute. So I'm not going to do that. I used to, and I actually do that on my smaller rockets, but on my larger rockets like this, I don't. And you just want to stuff your shot cord and the parachute and everything in there. Get it all out of the way. And basically, once all this glue dries, it's ready to fly. But not to me. I am going to take some extra steps to ensure proper reinforcement of my fins. And I'm going to prime, sand, paint, and finish my rocket. Hang on. Managed to get some glue to drip on the nose cone here somehow. Alright. Before I finish this video up, I'm going to do one layer of fillets on one of the fins just to show you how it's done. I'll do the rest off camera. My next video will probably be tomorrow on painting. Actually, I may wait to do the painting video until next month because I've got to get the decals. But anyways, just like that, you just want to put a thin layer of glue on the joint, on the fin joint where the fin meets the tube. Just kind of smooth that layer out with your fingers. And you just want to repeat this. After one layer dries, put another layer and another layer. Yes, it may be time consuming, but it's worth it. You want to do about 4, 5, maybe even 6 layers of glue. So, with that said, see y'all in the finishing video. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. Again, see y'all in part 5 for the finishing video. Ooh.